All right, we back. Welcome to another episode of Bomb Stories. Self-explanatory. This is the podcast where we celebrate failure. All right, all my friends and comedy brethren come on and just tell their best amazing stories of bombing in comedy and in life. It gets off the rails sometimes. My name is Dino Vigo, your host with the most. This is my guy, David Lamborghini Gallardo, comedian, producer, all things extraordinaire. And today we have one of my good friends.
Don't put two goods on it. Because you know when you're a female comedian and you put more than one good on it, they going to say, oh, they having sex. Oh, well, so give me one good.
Okay, one good. Let them think what they think. Let them mystery. Let them be a mystery, man.
That's true. Though.
Yeah.
Good friend.
Oh, yeah. I didn't
even. He added all them goods on it.
Yeah, I didn't even pick this. One of my.
Every time he said good, I felt his dick penetrating me.
Yeah, she one of my good friends. I didn't even pick that, but one good is one of my good friends. She one of my
you
good,
just sexually harassed me with all your goods. Yeah.
Don't me to me, please. I can't get canceled before.
I want some of this shit on the wall.
I ain't even made it, man.
These are worth money right here. So.
Yeah, I know. I was so many goods. I need at least something off the wall.
Okay, so Daphnique, let's just get to the beginning. We've been friends for about 6-7 years now. Right?
Yeah.
And how we met is
you slid in my DM.
I slid in her DM.
Backslid.
But it was purely platonic slide in, right? A year before I had did HBO comedy
Wings, ABFF, the American Black Film Festival.
Yes, and I was in the finals of that, and I was going back to it was in Miami, and I was going there to
Network.
Network, yeah.
And get a refresher.
Yeah.
Because I had met the previous year.
Exactly. So, and I needed to get a pass, and so I looked at, and the comedians that are in the contest get a pass. So I looked at the finalists of that year, and I saw the people, and I didn't know any of them, and I slid in.
You didn't know me.
Yeah, no, I didn't know any of them.
Did you reach out to anybody else?
I slid in everyone's DM, and you were the one that got back to me. Some people did get back to me after you, and they were like, yeah, I gave my pass away. It was all good. And then, but you got back to me, and you was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm down here. We get 2 passes. I'm only got one that I'm giving away, so you can have my pass. And then I went down there, and we became fast friends. And we've been friends ever since. By the way, she won the contest that year.
I mean, I'm a winner.
Yeah. She did win the contest and did her thing.
Stand up?
It's a stand up thing, HBO, and you get a meeting with HBO, and it's dope. It's a dope thing. Shout out to ABFF. She won it that year, and then we just was friends ever since. We went and did festivals together. I go to LA. I hit her up. She is very, very
talented and humble.
Talented, humble. But since then, you have blown up. Let's say blown up. Like you're famous now. We were just in the fish spot.
I'm blown, but I haven't got the up yet.
You're succeed. Listen, your trajectory has gone in the upward motion. It's
dropped.
No,
but that's success, though. You gotta do this.
Of course, there's ebbs and flows, but I mean, you're doing very well. It is what it is. You're killing the social media game. You had when I met you, which was crazy because to me, you had a lot of followers when I met you. You had like 6,000 to 8,000 followers.
Yeah, it's because I got titties, but yeah, I had that many back then.
And I was like, oh, she's popping.
Okay.
Yeah. And then she does have titties. And then so now you are in the upwards of the 200,000-300,000 on all these things.
No, millions.
Yeah,
no, I'm just joking. On YouTube, it's like 400 and over 450, and then
crazy.
Instagram. People don't know I got 2 pages. So one has like 129,000, the other one has like 466.
So gross.
So it's like 600,000. You add that up.
And then TikTok, you got like in the millions, right?
Yeah. Probably hit 2 million by the end of the summer.
Crazy. I remember I did just a random little thing with you when I did a TikTok with you. I had 3 followers at the time. And when you posted it, I had 200 followers from doing that 1 10-second little thing with you. So I got to get in the lab with you again.
Okay.
But so enough about your accolades. This podcast is about falling on your face. All right.
Ooh, I should tell the story about how I got into ABFF.
Yeah, we're gonna get into all of that.
That's a bomb.
We're gonna get
that turned into a win, but it started off as a bomb.
It wasn't. I don't know if you knew that. We could go back and tell it now.
Okay, so you remember ABFF? They do the semifinals before you get to the actual finals.
Yes.
So you had to do it. Did you come to LA or did you do yours in New York?
They were in New York. Luckily, good and bad.
Semifinals.
Everything was in New York.
Okay, so back in the day, the year that I did it, 2016 was the year that I won. It was actually in LA, the semifinals. So they have approximately like 9 people do it, and then they cut it down to 4, and then those 4 they fly out to Miami. They get them a hotel. HBO pays for it. You get per diems for meals and everything. They really treat you really great, right? And then you get to perform in front of a couple thousand people.
Oh, this is dope.
Yeah,
I still use my clip from that to when I submit.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's the best clip I have.
I've gotten better as a comedian, so I don't use that clip anymore. I can't relate to you, Dino.
But it's TV qualities. It's like the best
you're
quality.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just teasing you. But so they end up having the semifinals in Los Angeles at this club called the Ha Ha. So that night, only 4 people were gonna move on. So they called all the people that went up, and they didn't call my name. And when I tell you, I had a great set. And I was in tears because I'm like, this shit, I know I did better than that person and that person. I know that for a fact. So I ended up going to the car crying. Like, what the hell? They asked me to take a photo because I left after they called the people. They was like, hey, could you take this photo? So you'll see me in the photo, like, not really happy. Yeah. So then after I left, a couple of the judges, 2 judges stuck up for me. I believe it was Zaynab and it was Amanda Seals that I knew for sure. Zaynab Johnson, Amanda Seals. They stuck up for me. They did like a post on Instagram saying that, that I did really good or whatever. So then I'm starting to think in my head, because as a comic, we are when we don't do well, we blame everybody else. We don't take any accountability. So in this moment, I'm like, this shit is rigged. You know what I mean? They already knew who they wanted before I even got here. And I wasn't one of the people they wanted in Miami.
But you're right, though. That do be the case sometimes.
That do be the case.
It be politics.
Yeah, it do be politics. But some people they be capping. But then some people, you be like, nah, I really do be politics. So I felt in my mind at this moment that it was just politics. So I didn't get so after I left, I had those 2 judges that wrote something that was very sweet and nice, and I was like, this is very nice and encouraging, to just keep going. I ain't gonna win them all, you know what I mean? So I heard that people left out of the show and was like, how did she not win? And they started to ask questions, and then it was like a little chitter chatter. This is what I heard. And then so I ended up getting an email either late by the time I went to bed, like 3 o'clock in the morning, something like that, or maybe the next morning, early in the morning, saying that they decided to do 5 people.
Dope.
And then I went to Miami. I was one of the 5. And I remember sitting in the green room area, and this one comedian, he just was like kind of trying to take me off my square. I put my headphones on, blocked everybody out in that room, and I won. Yeah. I ain't come to play with nobody.
No, you didn't. I was in the crowd, man. It was clear. It was clear. You did your thing that day. You won.
Yeah, but technically that was like a bomb. But I done bombed prior to that and post that.
Yeah, that's a success story.
Yeah.
So
I still bomb.
Yeah, of course. That's what this is about. See, on the surface, this podcast is, hilarious stories of failure. But it's also, Dave,
Perseverance.
Yes. Everyone that's been on the show has great stories of bombing. It's so funny, but they're also successful comedians, which means that they have overcame those bombs. And it's like, it's part of the game. You can't fail. You can't succeed if you don't fail. So that's what this is all
about. And that is really true. You know why? What made me feel good about bombing when I bomb, it keeps me going, is the fact that I've seen some of the greatest people bomb, like literally in the room as a witness and watch them bomb. Yeah, I've seen Kevin Hart have a tough ass time, but when I say these people were bombing, it's because they were working on new material. It's not because it was they A1 shit. I done seen Dave Chappelle up there.
Of course.
And, you know, the shit.
Even sometimes.
Because they're working on material. I seen Cat Williams like, and people looking like, so that kind of really gets you to keep going as a comedian and really pushes you that just, hey, you just got to keep working out that stuff. Now, see, here's the difference between me, Cat, Kevin, and Dave Chappelle. They were working on new material, but I bombed working on material I was already doing.
And listen, so do they. Listen, they've bombed with their age shit too. It's just, that's part of this game. Your next bomb is always around the corner, man. It's what keeps us. It's like we like the punishment. It's a weird thing. So you started doing. You're from Florida.
Yeah.
You didn't
Palm
do
Beach County, ho. You always got to say the ho part. That's like a part of
Palm
Florida.
Beach County, ho.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You was in a gang. You got in a lot of gang trouble.
You know, I used to sell drugs. I used to be shooting people. I used to have a mouthful of golds permanent. Then I got them out, my grill out, and got my teeth done. Nah.
So you didn't do comedy in Florida?
No, actually, I didn't. I started in Los Angeles, California.
And you moved to LA for comedy or just acting?
I moved to LA to get into the industry, and I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to be in this place. And my grandmother lived in Inglewood. She had a 2-bedroom apartment, and it was her and her husband in one room, and she had another room with a twin size bed in there. She said, baby, all you need is a television. And she said, you could stay here. So
is this the grandmother that used to go and sell hot dogs with?
Yeah. And my grandma used to sell hot dogs back in high school.
You told me that story. That was a great story. Yo, Daphnique used to sell hot dogs on the
I
street.
used to sell fish too.
Yeah, she was a hustler. You was like 13?
Speaking of hustlers, when I think of hustlers, I always question, is that something you can learn or something you're born with? And I think you're born with being a hustler. Like, that's a talent that you're born with, like a superpower that you're born with. I've met so many people that are amazingly talented, but they have absolutely no work ethic or hustle. And it just becomes a raisin in the sun. And you see them self-sabotage over time because they're not willing to put in the work. But they have everything here in the arts and the talent, but it never manifests because they can never get the showing up all the time, to work hard, to hit stages, to constantly reinvent yourself. They're not willing to do that. So I really honestly think, if anything, I can't play basketball. I'm not in the WNBA. Bitch, I was born a hustler.
You were. And to that question, it's interesting you say that because I think it is something you're born with, or maybe you learn very young. You have parents that's hustling, or like.
No, I'm way more of a hustler than
hustling. Oh, so then it was just in you.
I think it's in you. That's why I believe it's in you.
I think I fell victim to that a little bit, in a way that I had to learn to switch my hustle. Hence this and doing other things, and I starting like the t-shirt
you mean
line.
When you stopped smoking crack?
Exactly.
Okay.
No, when I started doing the comedy thing, and for years until just recently, I put all my hustle into jokes and the stage and doing that. And then
some people hustling backwards.
I was hustling backwards, and like you said, I was hustling, thinking I'm hustling, getting on stage, writing, getting on stage. Yo, I got to be out every night.
But you forgot about the relationships, and you forgot about building and hanging out and stuff like this, because comedy is bigger than television.
I don't even think, I just watching people like you grind and hustle outside of stand-up, like that's why I'm doing this now, watching you, and you definitely inspired me. I have a few friends that switch their hustle and are very successful now. And took me a minute to finally be like, what the fuck am I doing? And you said this just before we started taping. The thing about stand-up is you're always dependent on someone else's approval.
Yeah.
And
that means the club, the bookers,
the agents,
the other people in your, the agents, the managers, the industry, right? Just for Laughs Montreal, the festival,
all that shit.
You also depending on other comics, your peers, you know what I mean, to get you work. Like, I think in order for you to really be who you deserve to be, is you have to somehow nowadays take the power into your hands, because see, we're not like the generation before us. So all these Damon Wayans and Chris Rocks and all them and people on Def Jam and all those people that made it, like they had to work hard, be funny, fight to survive, and the industry would pick them up. I don't think things are that simple anymore.
It's good and bad. In a good way, you can bypass those gatekeepers now. You know, like those people that you always were dependent on. Oh, the booker at this club I want to get into, the agent, the people booking for Saturday Night Live, all those things. Now you can do it yourself.
But see, I kind of disbelieve in that too, right? Here's why I do have a little small, I think that so many people are fighting to be in certain rooms before they're ready, and they're not working on their skills, right? So at the end of the day, it erased me doing social media, right? I worked so hard doing stand-up and putting myself in festivals and investing money into myself. Can't nobody tell you that I was probably investing damn near 50% of what I was making. Even to this day, I go to acting class every week. Every single audition, I get 4 auditions a week. I pay coaching. When I tell you I'm paying thousands of dollars a month just to coach for a job that I'm not going to get, right? Thank God I'm at a place in my life where I can afford it, right? But I'm not even where I'm at in my life with the money I have, I'm still not going to be relaxing lackadaisy and not putting
because there's so much more
work that I can, because eventually I always look at people, you're not making money now, but you got to look at it when I do all these little shows for free. Because, now I'm at a point, too, where I turn down money for shows. Like, even I did a show here last night, and the room wasn't packed. And the guy was like, oh, write down your Venmo. I'm not going to take money from you, man. I'm not going to take money from another comedian, and this show didn't sell out. And I remember another female comedian booked me on the show, and she was like, oh, I'm going to pay you $200. I said, no, I would never. She was a black female. I said, I will never take more money from you than these white promoters give me. You know what I mean? So
that's
just match that price and we good. Because it's like we all kind of got to work together. Now, I can admit that not everybody's at
of course,
that level.
You're lucky enough to be in a place where you don't need their money.
If you're not selling tickets, people are really trying to survive and fight. And it is admirable to me to see someone putting on a room, trying to get people out, hustling. That's a hustle too. The same way you doing your podcast. So it got to be like respect there that like, hey, if you can, I ain't going to take from you. You know what I mean? But if you need it, take that shit.
Well, that's why I was getting to when I said it's good and it's bad. I would say it's good that you could bypass and do those things. But the bad part, and this is what makes you so unique, not unique, but you did it the right way, because the bad part about it to me is stand-up wise is these people get success and they get all these followers. And like you said, they're not ready to be in that room because their stand-up skills aren't there. You did it the opposite way, or the right way to me, whatever. I'm a little bougie with it. You were a comedian first. And you honed your skills and you were in those rooms bombing, getting your shit up, writing. So by the time you started doing the social media hard like that, when you got that success, you were ready to go into any room.
Yeah, but I still worked on my stand-up.
That's what I mean. Because you were a solid comic already. Yeah. You had just won the HBO shit before your social media. You were legit strong comic. Then you add that following. It's like, yeah, book me anywhere. I'm ready. Let's go on the road. Some of these people are getting these followers, 100,000, 2,000, whatever followers, and then they're getting booked to go on the road, and they can't do it. They got 5 minutes to stand up. That's where it's bad to me.
Yeah, but you can't tell somebody that's been hustling to turn down money. And these clubs ain't gonna turn down no money.
Yeah,
but
they figure it out.
But over a while, I do be like a little offended. Like, damn, how y'all doing all of this and you ain't putting no work in? They not willing to go back and learn the art of stand up. I heard somebody like DC Young Fly was in the comedy clubs every weekend in Atlanta, going up trying to hone his craft and stuff like that. I
don't know him well, but I watched
I've heard
him.
About it.
I watched him. Grow, and I know people that know him, and from what I hear, he is one of those guys, and that's why I respect guys like that. They got that following, because he got that following first. But when he started to get the comedy, opportunities, he was in the club honing his craft.
Most of them,
falling on his face. And I don't know his story that well, but that's from what I hear, and I respect that.
I respect that too.
Shout out DC Young Fly.
And another thing too I wanted to speak on is a lot of people they really networking to me and building relationships is a skill. And it's a skill that I don't have. I'm friends with people and I'm cool with people. People fuck with me. But see, I'm able to let my talent outweigh my building relationships thing. But I know some people that are good at building relationships but aren't really that talented. So I think you're born with that too, and I call it the gift of gab. Like, you got a mouthpiece on you. People are born to they can just talk and network and be a chameleon to people and just go over there and start to blend in with this black sofa. Go over there.
Yeah.
Blend
Some people
in with
are once again.
Sofa,
once again, I agree with you, and I disagree a little bit because I feel the same way. I'm not the best networker. And I feel like I watch people that are just so good at that relationship stuff, and they like maintain. They send people emails like if
remember people's birthdays.
They're so good
names. At it. I'm like, dude, you creepy.
But
don't remember my kids.
And don't sell yourself short, because you said, and I do this to myself too. You said you're not really good at it. You might not have all the relationships, but the ones you have are solid. Like the relationships that I have of people with power in this industry, they're solid relationships. They might not be a lot, but the ones like the people that fuck with me, they fuck with me. I could submit certain projects to people to this day that I met 10 years ago at HBO, at NBC. I don't know everybody, but those people, the relationships that I do have, they're solid. And I think the relationship that you have, it might not be every single person, but they're solid relationships.
But see, I believe that my relationships, and I don't know if you can speak to this as well, but my relationships was built basically on my talent versus some people who just have a mouthpiece on them and they don't have to have anything backing them.
And that's why they're solid.
They're just really can talk to anybody, and I'm not like that. It takes me a while to walk into a room and warm up to people, right? I grew up the only child. I'm from South Florida. I grew up Muslim,
South Florida, like that's a thing.
No, but
people ain't nice.
I mean, we got guns, but I grew up Muslim, so I'm not always the quick, and I believe in energy and stuff, and I have to sit back and read the energy of the room before I'm just like, hey, how you doing?
100%.
I don't want to speak to no demonic spirits.
I get that.
You ain't gonna have that damn demon jump in my body.
If you could imagine,
and have sex with my body.
If you could imagine that there's people that they don't know me. And when they meet me, they're like, yo, man, I thought you were a dick, or I thought you were... They didn't know me at all because I'm quiet. I don't run in the room and talk to everybody. I don't...
But I talk to people I know nonstop.
And that's why the relationships are strong, because the people that do fuck with you, they fuck with you because you're talented, not because you're this nice person. You know what I mean? Not saying you're not. You are a nice person, but you have to know you.
Sometimes.
And that's the... Lightning coming. That's Elsa. That's the co-host. That's the demonic spirit.
Okay.
But the relationships you have are from, yo, you're funny. You're funny. I want to work with you. And it's the same thing here. I'm this quiet guy. I get on stage and you're like, oh shit, this motherfucker does this thing. And that's when the relationships come. And that's why they last forever, because they fuck with you because you're talented, not because you this good, nice person. They know you're talented and they can make money off you.
Absolutely.
What's your focus now? Is it more stand-up or acting or doing social media, sketches?
I got 24 hours in a day, so it's all my focus. I got 7 days a week, so it's all my focus. You know what I mean?
It's gotta be.
Because I remember, Keith Robinson, he's a comedian. I remember he had told me, he said, what do you be out there doing with your time? And I said, well, I'll be going to comedy shows at night and hanging out. He said, how many hours a day? I said, I normally go out around 7, get there 8, and then I hang out to about 11. So he said 4 hours? What are you doing with the rest of the time in your day? And then I thought about it from an entrepreneur standpoint and a business standpoint, is that what am I doing with it? I'm using 4 hours a day to invest in stand-up. Where's my other work hours going, right? They need to be going to social media. They need to be going to posting. They need to be going to responding to messages. They need to go into emails. They need to go into creating content. It's like a lot of comedians really aren't doing real time management. They think going to the clubs every night is the end all be all. And then social media isn't for everybody. So I never want people to think that. Stay the fuck away from us. We are happy that you don't want to use social media. Like, I don't want nobody else to blow up.
I feel like you're talking to me.
No. I'm just talking to some other people because I've heard people have conversations with like, not everybody has to do social media, and I absolutely agree. It may not be for your personality.
I think you have to, man.
Yeah, I think isn't social media now what they're looking for? People to have a following before they
represent you. But it's also a lot of
you?
people that get onto platforms like SNL and other TV shows and
lightning
stuff,
strikes.
and they don't have a large following. So I think it's just about being talented and making sure that you're using all your work hours a day. Like I know people that they just constantly setting up shows at Second City. You know what I mean? Or UCB, and they're putting the work in there, developing shows and doing sketches and writing those and being in workshops and diversity programs and all this other kind of stuff, and they end up becoming successful from that. So I don't think the end all be all is you need to get on social media.
It's not the end all be all.
To me, having a podcast isn't being a social media influencer. It's like, this is my platform, and these are the platforms that this is what I'm doing, and this is the platforms.
And that's why
if you're gonna do audio, you might as well do video and just put it out. Right. But I don't consider you a social media influencer because you have a podcast and you put that up on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. I personally don't.
I get it, and that's why the only thing I was gonna say to, in my opinion, is social media is got to be for everybody. But like for me, I don't do what you do. I do sketches. I've done it, and I'm gonna do more. But I had to find a way to make the social media work for me. The way so hence this.
And then that's
what you do have to do it, but you got to figure it out. What is you?
But they're constantly telling people all the time, "Oh, you need to be making sketches. You need to be making."
If that's
videos
not you,
and
no.
Stuff. That's what I'm saying. If that's not you, but I do think that if you're not gonna do that, what are you doing with the rest of your time in the day? Are you writing a script? Are you writing a pilot? Are you writing sketches, packets, late night packets? What else are you doing with your time other than stand up? So you don't have to go to social media route, but when the opportunity does come from stand up, you need to have something else readily available.
Young comedians, you better listen to her. Young people, period. Listen to her, man.
But don't be forcing social media if it don't feel right.
Well, I think you should develop a following. I feel like, Facebook, Instagram, even Twitter, like you got to have a social media presence nowadays. I think you don't have to do sketches.
I know so many examples of people that don't have social media followings that end up getting into a position because all you got to do is book a role on the Chi-Town or a Netflix show or something like that, and you'll get the followers later. So I don't believe everybody needs to just jump into social media. That's just my opinion, but you're right at your opinion as well.
So, okay, you moved to LA to do comedy. I always ask people this. Your first time on stage, did you bomb?
No.
Your first time? Me neither.
I was amazing.
Stupid.
Amazing.
Let me tell you why I was amazing. Because, and it's like when I heard of people that do drugs, right? Like hardcore drugs, like cocaine, crack, heroin. It's the best high in the world. So when I first did stand up, I was the most confident ever. I was fucking fearless. And I've been chasing that high ever since. I'm so insecure about comedy. Although I hear all these things that you're this good and you're that and this, that, and other. I'm only thinking about the negative views.
Unfortunately, so that's what drives you to be great, though.
It over time is driven me to be always looking at the imperfections to see where I can make them perfect, but they'll never be perfect because I'm always gonna focus on that one person or that one thing
that's
or that
fucking
the
sitting
DJ
there
coming
quiet.
in late and this in the room is too many lights on there and I forgot to say this tagline. So the first time I did stand up, I was the best I ever could be.
That's awesome. I wasn't the best, but I say that because I didn't bomb my first time either. I did well my first few times, and that was so necessary because in my heart, I believe that if
I didn't do well after that.
If I bombed that first time, I don't think I would ever did it again. I think I would have. Because I had this weird experience when I was in college. It wasn't stand-up, but it was like, I was supposed to be funny. They asked me to host this thing.
Ejaculated on your leg?
Exactly.
Oh, whoa, never mind.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that was my experimental
state.
But I thought I was going to be funny. I was not funny. It was horrible. It was.
That's your first time?
Yeah, but it wasn't even stand up. But that made me feel like, oh, you can't do this or whatever. And then like literally 10, whatever plus years later, I actually, tried to do stand up. And so if that happened again, it would have been soul crushing, and I probably was like, this is just not for
me. Yep.
So luckily I did well, and I didn't bomb till later. But by the time I bombed, I had the confidence like, oh, I could do this. Yeah. And everyone told me the bomb was coming, and I thought I was just savant. Like, no, I'm great. Of course, the bomb came, the boo came, but when it did, it kind of rolled off. I mean, I felt like horrible, and I wanted to quit, but I didn't quit. And I persevered, and whatever. When was your first bomb? Immediately after?
What do you consider a bomb? See, I've never been booed, but I consider bomb is silence. What I consider a hardcore bomb, a punch in the face, is when people start.
Not a punch in the face,
no, nobody ever punched me in the face. But when people start talking to their neighbor and they're no longer.
Oh, that's a bomb.
No longer care about what you got on to say, and you start to hear the room chatter outshadow your set.
Yeah.
To me, that's the worst bomb. I'd rather you boo me, because if you booing me, you still focus
I was just going to say that.
Looking at me.
Silence.
You still invested in me enough to be like, boo, bitch, get your skinny ass off the stage with your bald-headed ass. You're still invested. But to me, when you say, I don't care what this bitch talk about. Girl, so what you doing? Oh, you want to go to such and such after that? Oh, you know what? Matter of fact, I got to go to the grocery store.
Completely
Girl, here goes my
disinterested.
baby daddy texting me. That's bad.
Completely disinterested.
And I've had a couple of those nights.
Of course, we all have. Definitely silence is a bomb. Well, the silence in a way that they're not listening to you. Silence and they're listening to you is a good thing.
Yeah,
because they're focused.
As long as you still engaged.
Yeah, but silence because they're not engaged, that is a bomb. Chatter is a bomb.
One of these looks, this is worse when they silent and they look at their friend like.
And of course, the boo is a bomb. I've had all of those.
I've had the boo.
At this stage, a bomb to me, and because we are where we are, and usually do well, we do. To me, I'll say I bombed when I just don't do
what I wanted to.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't get that thing that I'm used to. Like, oh man, I didn't have a good set. But for anyone else, you did fine. They was laughing, but because you know what you want and whatever. But
so now, as we get farther in the game, a bomb is you don't see how amazing I think I am.
Yeah, for real. Like, wait a minute, what? You're not.
Is there a region where the audience is a little tougher, maybe like West Coast, East Coast, or down south?
No, I wouldn't say that, but I do believe that people always say, I was having a conversation with some comedians the other day, and they was like, yeah, you got to learn how to read the room and you got to do this. And I'm like, no, sometimes it's just the crowd. Sometimes they not like, ha, 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 laugh out loud people. Sometimes people got some shit that's going on their spirit, and they just ain't here really for the jokes, but they already got their tickets. It could be a lot. And I noticed that to me, comedy, the way the stage in the room is set up can affect your set as well.
Oh,
if the lights are too bright on the audience, that can also affect your set.
So many things. The mic too loud, too low.
Because the audience wants to be in the dark, right? They kind of want to be like, okay, because you kind of start, you get distracted, you start seeing too many people.
To your question, they say, I don't agree with this. I think every show is its own show, but I've heard that New York audiences can be tough. People say
Atlanta is tough too, but I've done well in Atlanta.
I will agree.
Yeah,
I had a good bomb.
To me, I seen somebody get booed. This ain't even my bomb story, but it was Big Weezy's bomb story. We were on tour with Cat Williams. I'm gonna say his name. He ain't ashamed of it. No. But he went out there doing his joke, and he had a joke about ketchup on his shirt. They was not feeling him. It was 9,000 people there.
Ooh.
And it started with two, I would like to say, ignorant niggas in the middle. But they probably wasn't. They just had enough. They was like, boo. And when I
That's
tell
a little
you,
ignorant.
It grew to thousands within 2 minutes.
Oh, my God.
Not 2 minutes, within seconds, it grew to like 2,000 people. People was like, oh, that's what we doing? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I had to go up right behind that. The host went out and was able to get laughs, and then I had to go up. My only thing I can think of, I'm just like hoping I say my words clearly, because I was so in my head like, please don't boo me, please don't boo me.
Did you reference it? Did you reference it?
I ain't reference that. I wasn't that skilled enough to reference it.
Because that would have got, it would have been like, I ain't that guy. Don't make me bring up. That's the classic. Don't make me bring that last guy back.
The host did a lot of things.
Okay. Yeah. That's the class. Don't make me bring that last guy back. Like, oh. So your first bomb. Do you remember your first bomb? Most people do.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've had a lot of bombs, but let's talk about a significant one.
Yes.
Right, because I'm still bombing.
Of course.
I might be bombing right now.
No. But that's what this is about.
So, I was at the J Spot in Los Angeles, California.
Tough room.
All black people. They ain't here for your bullshit.
Is that still open?
It be closed and open. It's opening back up. Thank God. I really like that club. I think it's an amazing club.
That thing is weird to me. Like,
oh, for real?
No, you know the stage?
Yeah, it's not weird to me.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's a nice club. Yeah. Beautiful. It's black owned. So I was having a set and it wasn't going too well, but I'm going to stick here, bitch. I drove 45 minutes. I'm going to say what I have to say. This one black lady, she looked to be about 280 pounds. Sitting there sucking on some fried chicken, not even looking at me. Yells out, bitch, you not funny. So my reaction was, bitch, you fat.
Hurt people.
Bomb. She said, bitch, I'll beat your ass. And I said, okay, everybody, thank you and good night. And then I had somebody to walk me to my car because I felt like this bitch might really beat my ass.
Yeah, that's great.
By the way, she was fucking them chicken wings up. I might be next.
That is
great. Might be next because people have said when I do my arms like this, I kind of look like a chicken. So I was like, she ain't about to think I'm that chicken on that table and beat my ass next. Period.
Yeah. We've heard stories, people getting stabbed up.
I ain't never got stabbed.
Oh,
what else?
I've seen comedians get assaulted. I've had people approach the stage on me. Nothing. It didn't go there, but it was potential.
I have people hug on me sexually afterwards and ask for pictures and be sliding their arm, and then we look like we in a prom date picture afterwards. But other than that, I don't never have people.
Before we get into my next bomb question,
I gotta tell you one thing: the Stress Factory. He said that the customers called and was like, "Give me her number, her phone number."
When we were there,
yeah. But go ahead. I was like,
give you the phone number like he was gonna talk to kick it.
Yeah. Like,
what?
But
why did they think that was even a
Vinny
thing?
was like, I gave it to him. I was like, Vinny, I know you did. And he was like, I'm just joking. I would never. And I was like,
yeah, that's crazy. Hello, Daphne, getting a swerve on.
So, I mean, I'm cute.
Yeah. So this is what I did want to ask you. As a woman, I don't know if this is being misogynistic or whatever the question is. Do you think a woman, you get a little bit of a break or less than a break as far as like, is she good or not? That's the co-host, the Streets.
Get it from the audience?
From the audience. Like, so as a man, I feel like the audience is a little quick to be mean.
Oh, for real? I feel like they quick to be mean too. You got a lot of women, and then they're there with their boyfriends.
Or
most men don't come to the shows. Have you noticed? It's very, especially black men. Black men don't go in groups of just homeboys. To the shows.
Or that's actually the thing. Maybe it's the opposite. Do you feel you get a little more hate from the women because she thinks she cute and?
I felt like that when I was insecure or when I wasn't. I didn't know if I was funny yet. Yeah, but now I don't really care. You bought a ticket. I'm still gonna get paid or not.
Once you funny, it is what it is. But that's what I mean. I mean, just initially, you walking up and they're like, "Oh, this bitch."
But it's different now because I have fans.
Yeah.
So people know me, and it ain't everybody in every audience, but so I still get some type of support versus you going out there cold.
Yeah. All right. Have you ever bombed when it mattered?
Like on a showcase or something?
Showcase, audition. I have like 1 or 2 bombs when it mattered. And those are the ones that stick with you because you're like,
I know one time it felt like I bombed because I didn't she didn't book past me at a club. But I mean, I felt like I had a great set that night. So, no, I never bombed. I get a rush when it's a competition. I don't think I've ever. Oh yeah, I didn't win that one.
Like an audition.
All 3 white boys that won that one. But that's what I usually do, festivals and stuff. So yeah, I know what you're talking about, like comedy stuff. No, I never bombed.
What about a sketch that went wrong or went viral for the wrong reasons?
Yeah, how's bombing on social
Sketches.
media? Yeah, because that's
so many
it's there
opinions,
forever,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
You read the comments?
Not really. But the video that they said was my worst work ever was my highest grossing video.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. They said that this was the worst work. It was a Hispanic guy. Hence, you're sitting over there.
It's me.
Yeah. Probably one of your cousins. Essays, you know. He had wrote in the sketch. It was a long day.
This is one guy.
Back in the day. Oh, no, but people jump on the train. Yeah. They just waiting for somebody to say some shit. And other people had said negative stuff, but this one stuck out to me. The video, it was a long day shoot that day. You know, back in the day, I used to shoot like 5 to 7 sketches in one day. And I was shooting every week, several days a week. Because that's how I got up to having like over 600 sketches online. I used to go hard. Now I'm not going as hard, but I'm about to start next week. So make sure you watch my new content. But yeah, so it was a long day. Didn't really I had an idea. Everybody was tired, ready to go. But I really was like, hey, let's just do one more because I'm trying to get quantity, right? And so I didn't have the sketch really fully thought through. So it wasn't the best work. It wasn't bad. Mm-hmm. It looked good, but it kind of was. It didn't give a payoff at the end, right? Getting into it to me was good, but it was no payoff. So this guy wrote on there, he said, Kevin Hart, please put her in the movie so she can stop doing these stupid ass sketches.
That's great.
A black man, protect black women, came in the comments and replied to the Hispanic man. And he said, hey, man, I got to admit, this is really bad. But normally she does good work. Shut your burrito eating ass up. So the Hispanic
started a race war in the comments.
The Hispanic guy back said, hey, man, I don't eat burritos. Too many carbs. And
that was stupid.
And the video went viral.
That's
highest grossing video.
This is where? On YouTube or Instagram?
Facebook.
Oh, Facebook.
That's great. Yeah, she goes crazy on. She goes crazy on every platform, man.
She posts the same videos on all platforms.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah? You do that. Huh? Mm-hmm. I thought I've seen things that you exclusively do.
Every place is a new audience. Because I had Facebook did an
I thought I've seen you do TikToks and they weren't on Instagram. Maybe I'm wrong.
If so, I just forgot to put it up.
Whatever.
But Facebook did analytics. They said only 2% of people, less than 2% of people that follow me on Facebook follow me on Instagram. So like I tell everybody, it's all different audiences. So I will post everywhere.
Dope. Yeah. Dope. All right, listen, man. I know you.
It's been real. And
you got
go.
You got business shit. You got business shit happening. Really appreciate you coming, man. You're probably our most successful guest. Yeah, we've had some dope ass guests so far.
No, but I'm the most successful.
Yeah. Thanks. You
know, I just be messing with him.
Nah, she's the homie for real. She's my good friend.
Top 2 so far.
Lord. Stop penetrating me.
She's my good friend. Yo, real quick, for those of you who
so you gonna penetrate me too?
For those of you who are wondering, who watched the podcast, there is a space right now in the set. We had a set malfunction, man. My girls fell. She's the only one left standing. The other ones are in surgery right now.
See, black girl power. Yeah,
they will be back.
They will be back for the next episode. We got them in surgery right now. Pray for their well-being.
We got to redo the butt injections.
Daphnique, thank you so much for coming and doing the podcast. She happened to be in New York. Hit me up. We hung out.
No, it was planned. I just hit you up last minute.
Exactly. She had nothing to do the other night. Hit me up out of nowhere. We end up hanging out. I said, "Oh shit, you're in town to do the podcast." She came through, man. She is a busy woman. She got all types of shit going on. She didn't have to do this, and she did it, man. So thank you very much for coming.
Always.
What's your handles so people can follow?
Oh yeah,
Daphnique Springs at imdsprings.com. That's IAMDSPRINGS. And go to my website www.imdsprings.com. You get me everywhere on there. Dope. And
any projects coming up besides your social media? The sketch.
God willing.
Can we talk about whatever? You'll follow her. She will keep you updated on all her stuff. I know she has some things in the mix, but just damn, son, the demons is after us.
Okay,
guys. Bomb Stories. Subscribe. What do you say? Subscribe and follow.
Hit the like button. Smash that like button.
Smash that like button. To the moon. To the moon. We do our own side effects here. Yeah. Daphne, thanks a lot for coming in. Another episode of Bomb Stories in the Vault, man. Good night, guys. Bye. Good day. Good night. Bye. Bye.